And fall in, my fellow scouts, to a Third Age Reforged Siege Battle replay today. Today's replay comes from the Warlord, so thank you very much, Warlord. He is one of 3 defenders today. And before we get started, if you guys would like to send me through other Third Age Reforged replays like this, or other Total War replays like from Napoleon Total War 3, Rome 2, Warhammer 2, just to name a few, there are links here displayed on your screen, which you can find in the description below. There's also a link in the video description to join my Discord server, Scouts Reconnaissance, where you can post your Total War replays to the Battle Replays sub-channel. There's also an area for YouTubers to post their own content too, tell the community about themselves and what their channel is about, and also collaborate with other YouTubers for future projects if they so choose. I also have various funding options available, which does really help out the channel and the Discord, including YouTube memberships, which have been enabled, giving members access to custom emojis and badges. With that, let's get in with the replay today. So if you guys do enjoy my content and you can't support me any other way, smashing the like button, guys, is greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tick that bell for notifications so you stay up to date with all the latest content as it drops. And leave your own thoughts about this battle in the comment section below. I read them all. And with that, let's start. So, we have some Riders of the Golden Wood here. The Warlord is commanding the realm of Lothlorien. Probably should have started with that. We have some Lion of the Company over here. 2 units of them there. So this is just his advanced cavalry force. The rest of his army is inside the city. Which is a little bit strange. Occasionally we see the defenders deploy outside the city, try and establish some sort of outer defense. But today it seems like all the defenders are inside the city. And in fact we have one of the attackers already across the bridge. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, over here we have some Lothlorien archers up top. Along with 2 units there total. Inside we have some Lothlorien spearmen. Lothlorien swordmasters here, 2 units. A catapult. 2 units of Lothlorien axemen. Seer and Emoth rangers and watchers of the Golden Wood. Over here with some more Lothlorien warriors. A little bit of a strange place here for the catapult. Obviously it needs to get to higher ground. Possibly move it into the centre. Then that way you can fire it into 2 choke points straight away. Then you can also move over here to fire at this one, depending on which one is under the most pressure, you know. But going back to the rest of Lothlorien's army, over here we have some Lothlorien axemen. We have some Lothlorien protectors here, 2 units, with some Kindred of Celeborn in the centre. That actually makes a lot of sense. And over here we come to the first of his allies here, Joran, well-known player. He's commanding the Dwarves of Erebor. There's some Iron crossbows here, some Axguard of Erebor, Sons of Durin. No forces up here. We have some Erebor Legionnaires here, 2 units, along with 3 units, it would seem, of Ironfoot Spears, and 2 units of Ironfoot Warriors. The Wars are a very powerful faction, guys. Try not to go head to head with them. Try to use your missiles, like your axes, your javelins in particular. Archers, to a degree, help. Obviously, the more advanced your archers are, the better, the more damage they'll deal. But always try to weaken the Dwarves a little bit before you commit your infantry forces to go head to head with them. Because usually, the Dwarves will always win that fight, unless you have some sort of edge that helps you weaken them, while your melee units are engaged with them. Over here, we have some Ironfoot crossbows, 2 units, and some Blacklock Engineers. A body-piercing crossbow unit, the only 2 in the game. The other one is the Dragon's Wrath crossbows of Rune. Everyone's reference there. And over here we have the final defender, just outside the city, the realm of Mirkwood, commanded by Valcarion. G'day Val. He's got some Elders of the Elven King, some Greenwood Rangers here, along with some Wardens of Amon Lunk, which is an AP archer unit first, and then 2-headed axe unit after that. Decent unit. We have, I think, maybe 2 units here of high-paying archers, armoured up. That's another thing. Looks like Valcarion's gone for an elite-style Mirkwood force, and has applied every armor upgrade available to each of his units. We have some Elven King's Palace Guard, some High Lang here, 2-handed heavy swords, some High Spearmen, 2 units there, some High Earth, sword and shields, maybe 3 units of them there, some Ents of course, Woodland Protectors, the same as the Lothlorien Woodland Protectors, they do the same job. We have some Sindar of the Girdle here, which will probably join Lothlorien's cavalry. But yeah, obviously with cavalry guys, in this kind of context, you've got to be careful of how far you run them away from the rest of your army. Obviously the further away, the more pressure they're under, the easier they will break, so keep that in mind. And over here, we come to the first of 5 attacking armies today, Umabr, by Stegri 4. I don't think I've seen before, so if you use Steg, welcome. You have some Bellica Footmen here, some Alcarandas Legion, Bellica Shield Bearers, which now act like the Blackguard Barad-dûr and Blackwatch Legion. They're a good pushing unit. Keep that in mind. We have some Adunium Shield Guard, Bellica Pikemen, some more Adunium Shield Guard, 2 more units there, well, Shield Guard actually. Some Belaga pikes here, and Belaga footmen. More shield bearers, Belaga footmen here, and Belaga archers. All the Belagas. 2 units there. We have some Naru and Naru Royal Guard, and Naru and Naru Sentinels. I didn't see any Harbingers of Casimir. Well, I'll keep an eye out, of course, their crossbows and Casimir Rangers, but in particular, of course, their crossbows, because they're very good in the siege. Next we have his ally, Mordor, commanded by Tsunami. And he's got Temple Guard here, generals in that unit, I can see. Some Allied High, Troll Drummers. Orc Javelins here, 2 units. Moron Archers, one of the best archer units Mordor has. We have some Near Small Chosen, 2 units there. 2 units of Sauron's Will, and Orc Fodder. And some Beasts of Gorgoroth. Mixed feelings about the Beasts. They are a Javelin missile unit, so try to use all their Javelins. Try to keep them out of the fight until they've used all their Javelins, because if you commit them, and they can easily break, and then you lose all that ability to use your ammunition. So try to use the ammunition first, and then try to get as many kills as you can after that, but they don't tend to do too well in melee combat. They tend to go down pretty quickly, or break, or rout very quickly. We have some Temple Executioners armoured up, you can tell because of the helms and the capes. Some Nazgul embedded in there as well, and they're all captains, so a very strong army there from Mordor. Expected great things from him. Next we have Orcs in Misty Mountains here, done by TC1351. So TC here has some Drake Broodlings, some Warg Skirmishers. We have some White Uruk Fearmongers here, Heavy Goblin Crossbows, Heavy Goblin Infantry, Heavy Goblin Spears here, 3 units there, more infantry. Some, is that Black Batman Berserkers? No, it's just infantry. We have some Cave Trolls here, Goblin King's Bodyguard. We keep an eye out for Snow Trolls and Snaga Skirmishers. So that's all I see there at the moment. And we'll go to his next ally, which is the realm of Angmar. We've got Morris. G'day, Morris. We've got some Blackwatch Legion here. I think these guys are not armoured up. You can tell because there's a brown tinge to their shields. Same goes for the Lutron Hammer Guard. We have some Good About Guard here, 2 units, a Catapult. Trolls are Good About Trolls of Angmar. We've got some Guardians of Khazad-Dum here, not armoured up. I think 2 units of them. The third one, however, is armoured up. And we have some Witchron Pikes here, I think 2 units there, also armoured up. And there's the witches. It actually took me time to find them. I actually was looking through this entire blob forever. I was scanning it very closely, figuring you try to hide them in there like a lot of players do. But I underestimated Morris there. He just said, "Here's my witches. Do your worst, guys." I think. And so we move on. But they're relatively protected. They're not in any real danger where they are at the moment. Next we have some Dwarves of Khazad-Dum here, commanded by CzechNoris. Spawn of Chuck Norris, maybe. We have some 4th Legion Shield Guard here, 2 units. We have some Iron Watch of Mirkwood, one of the best units in Reforged. These guys here are pretty much portable mortars, guys. They can be absolutely devastating to an enemy blob of troops. We have some Legion Bodyguard here, some Warriors of Khazad-Dum, Mithril Guard next, some more Warriors of Khazad-Dum. Potentially 4 or 5 units there. They're just so spread out, I can't really tell, but I'm going to guess 4 units there. We have, I think, 2 units total of Khazad-Dum Reclaimers. We've got some 1st Legion Pikes here, just protecting the rear. And that's all I can really tell there at the moment. And so we'll get this spell started, guys, I think. Enjoy. Now, what's interesting is that the Khazad-Dum troops didn't bring any Orc Hunters, so they have no archers available to them. They did bring, of course, the Khazad-Dum Reclaimers, which will be effective against Erebor for sure if he uses them against Erebor. And I think maybe CzechNoris has the right idea here. It's tough for the attackers to really use archers on this map unless they get inside the fortress, which by itself is actually not as easy as you think. And so maybe I think Khazad maybe made the right call there by not bringing any archers. It doesn't seem like the attackers went too heavy for their archers. I mean, they brought a couple units here and there, but I think to bring a lot of archers on this map if you're an attacker will actually be a disservice to yourself and your team, because obviously it's very hard for them to get a shot. You should only bring archer units that are pretty accurate on this kind of map, I think, if you're an attacker. Just having a look over here. There are no movements yet here from the Warlord, so he's not reacting to the presence of CzechNoris or Angmar. Alright guys, we got our first engagement. We had a good charge here on the Trolls of Gundabad from the Cinder of the Girdle. Morris left them exposed. He was a little bit preoccupied. He was moving his catapult in position, trying to target the Warlord's catapult there. At the same time, Valcarion moved up and engaged his trolls. That is actually a nice shot here. Oh damn, they just missed one of his catapults. Warlord getting very lucky there. He's got to respond now. I think they're going to get their troops out of here. They're too exposed to their catapult, especially with the CNM Rangers. See that happen. Let's head back out here and see what Sindar's up to. So they actually retreated all the way across. So they're out for now. The wall didn't fire a single shot in response. A little bit odd. But fortunately for him, Morris has relented. Holding his fire. Sindar though could potentially do a good charge here on the Mirkwood Chosen if Tsunami's not ready for him. Maybe he should go after it. Now obviously if he turns around then obviously Valcarion should abandon his attack, but if they're facing the wrong way, Sindar should just go for it. I know we've got troops moving around all over the shop right now. Right near Morris and I think we have some awesome scout forces here at TC. Just getting their forces ready to maybe do a big push later on. Just waiting for their allies to get into position before they make their move. Now the attackers over here are a little bit slow to move forwards. Tech going very wide, looking to avoid the arrows of Lothlorien for now. Don't know if he has to really be too concerned about these guys. The troops are in loose formation, and the wars, after all, as I said, have good armour, and they're going to have to encounter this problem no matter what they do when they move up finally. But he's just hanging wide, I think, for now, because as I said, he's waiting for all the attackers to get in place before he moves forward. That way, when Lothlorien starts firing at him, he's not just standing around doing nothing. He's actually moving in and attacking and trying to get as close to he can. Maybe if he just runs the gauntlet and get his forces as close to the walls as he can, it takes these archers here out of play. Although we have seen actually in the past some archers managed to get some shots scanned here. I don't know. This requires some experimentation. They've got to find out what the range is of your archers. How many arrows can actually clear the ledge and hit troops down just next to the wall here. Okay, Sindar's charging in. He's trying to go after the Adunian shield guard. Didn't think that was the best idea. He's pulled out that idea. We've got Lothlorien cav over here though, running around. We've got the Warlords chasing them. They're forcing the Warlord back inside the city. Now these are riders here, so they can go up to any unit they want. Now if he could potentially go after the Iron Watch in Mirkwood with the Watchers of the Golden Wood. Try to use as much ammunition as he can and just run around, you know. But these in infantry there, I don't think I said anything about them before. Warlord could have potentially taken out the Iron Watch in Mirkwood. He's got space to run around and manoeuvre away from any enemy forces in the area. There's plenty of space to escape them. But it looks like the Warlords retreated back inside the city, and attackers here moving to close off any avenue of escape. So now the Warlord sort of shot himself in the foot there. He's basically removed his ability to use his cav outside the city walls. Because now we have every attacker here approaching each choke point inside. Could potentially get out this way. Umabr has not really. He's got troops in the area, but he can't block choke point in a hurry. We've got 2 units here of Wooden Rabbit Patrol firing on the Mirkwood Chosen. They fired a few volleys in there, maybe that's enough. They both saved their ammo. when the attackers send up the bulk of their troops now. Like, I'd be tempted to take a few shots at these guys myself, but I wouldn't go overboard. Not within the loose formation. There's a lot of ammunition just to use on one unit, even if it's a really good unit. Might be a little bit too much ammo being used on them, I think. Okay, will the rebel patrol try and target the bottom troops here, just outside the walls here? They've got the angle on them. You can see even shooting upwards in a mass like this, a lot of arrows are actually hitting them. Which is good news for the wooden rebel patrol. And now we have Bellager archers, I think, trying to shoot directly into the higher spearmen, which aren't in shield wall formation. It's probably a mistake on Valcarion's part. If he's going to leave them exposed, he probably should get into shield wall formation. Being armoured up, they could easily outlast the Bellager archers for sure. With very few casualties and not really a big dent to their armour. Still have ammo. Just trying to get into a better spot. What's going on over here? Oh, hang on, we've got orcs in Misty Mountains running inside the city. We've got Tsunami Rangers here firing in now as well. Where are they going? Trying to use his Tsunami Rangers to go after the catapult crew. Not really the best target. Warlord's got to get his Rangers out of there. Joran's trying to send up troops to try and take out the trolls here. I mean, the Rangers should be taking out this blob of enemy troops right here. They should be trying to blunt this attack instead of going after the catapult crew with Rangers. Shooting them with regular archer units is definitely far more preferable, if you must, but not Rangers. That's a big mistake. We've got crossbows here firing in. Trying to use crossbows on trolls is not as easy as you think, because their units are so spread out naturally. It does take a lot to bring them down with ranged units. We've got Goblin Infantry and Orc fellas here. A nice shot from the catapult could potentially send all these guys routing. We've got Rangers here. A few shots from them would decimate this entire force within about 2 shots. You probably should do that. We've got Heavy on crossbows here. They're in range. I think they could potentially take out Warlord's Rangers here. But fortunately for the Warlord, they're not aiming at them. They're going after the Orcs. Okay, there we go. Let's switch targets. Now, Warlords, I think, may be fighting on 2 fronts. That's why his attention is a little bit all over the place. We've got some Khazad-Dum reclaimers here, freely destroying this unit of Lothlorien spearmen. This is where micro comes into it, guys. You've got to work on your micros. Not just these players, like in general. It's a general comment overall. The reclaimers are decimating the spearmen. What's even worse for Lothlorien is that reclaimers are pretty darn accurate when it comes to going after their target, even though the unit's in loose formation. As you can see, they don't really miss. A couple of stray axes here and there, but for the most part, their axes always find their mark. Meanwhile, Angmar's forces here have been defeated, and he's being pushed back outside the city. Rangers here down to 36, so they've been hammered. Warlord has left them exposed. You've got Iron crossbows here. They should have maneuvered themselves into an area to shoot back at the crossbows, try and drive them back. Joran here trying to get his troops forward into their ranks. think he's going to do it. Yep, he succeeded. Yeah, Warlord has salvaged 30 ranges here, that's not bad. 30 is a good night. If your ranges get down to 10, then I wouldn't rely too heavily on them, even if they have a lot of ammunition. Meanwhile, Valcarion and Warlord here seem to have a lot of faith in their troops and their armour. They're trying to wear down the attackers' abundance of ammunition, it would seem.
Watch it!
Through axes and crossbow fire. I realised I said abundance of ammunition, and I also realised I made a comment about the attackers not bringing too many ranged units, so that does seem to be contradictory, and I apologise on that. Basically, I'm just saying, don't let him shoot you. Why are you letting him shoot you? This would be better if he was responding in some way to this, but he's not. He's just taking it. And like the Lothlorien spearmen here, the Hurek spearmen, it's Hurek, not Hyrek. They'll work on that. They're dying. They're almost gone. Both units here have been decimated and had no impact really on this fight, except used up a bit of ammunition from the attackers. It's a bit of a gamble. Usually we don't see players just throw away their units like that. Like usually I see them being sent into battle. Like they actually get some kills. These units I don't think have got any kills in. They probably won't get any kills before they break or are destroyed. At least with the dwarves, he's being shot at, but he's getting kills with those units. He's using those units. We've got some spearmen here broken, supposedly fighting to the death. Joran should just get in there and kill them, because they're easy kills. We have Guardians of Khazad-Dum here, moving themselves into a highly vulnerable position. We've got Black Engineers here that probably should maybe take a shot at them. Maybe. Lothlorien archers should probably help out, but maybe not anymore that the Armed Spears have decided to move in. I think maybe the Spears should have held back a bit. Warlord could have fired into the backs here of the Guardians of Khazad-Dum and bring them down faster. And that way Joran would sustain less damage, lose less dwarves at the same time. And taking these guys down. Snagger skirmishes, they do exist. Okay, I'm watching Mirkwood taking some shots. A little bit too soon. Look, if I was CzechNoris, I would probably launch a big attack that would force the defenders to really bring all their troops into this area to try and hold my forces back. And that would be the moment to use the Iron Watch. You want to draw your enemy in before you use your Iron Watch in Mirkwood. I think Czech is using him way too soon. He's also getting some friendly fire hits. He's not getting too many kills, which is a big disadvantage there. Like, had he been getting a few enemy kills, then I think getting some friendly fire there is acceptable, but he's not getting a lot of bang for his buck, so to speak. The trade-off isn't worth it. He's killing his own troops there, and he's not getting too many kills here on Warlord's troops as a result. This is a good idea though from Czech. Because we're going to be claiming to seem to have a good line of sight here on the Lothlorien spearmen. If this was intentional, it's definitely a good way to go. It's a fast way to bring down an enemy. Meanwhile, we've got Warlord archers on standby. Field firing troops also standing by. It looks like the Warlords here have been under a bit of fire. From the Goblin crossbows there, which are broken, firing them to death. That's the beauty of firing ammunition. Oh, the trolls are still alive. I thought they were dead. Javelins seem to be settling down there, wrong side. We were just there before. Alright, looks like we got Sterig here, or Steg going straight in. He's moving up. So Valcarion needs to get other forces in place. He's doing that now. He's got to stay one more unit here to help the Heroic Spearmen. At the same time, use the Woodland Realm Troll, I think, here to attack the Valiga Pikemen from the sides, which I think he is. The easiest way to bring down a pike unit is to attack them from multiple angles. But never head on. You're really playing into their game when you attack a pike unit head on. Yeah, Valiga Shield Bearers here aren't in shield wall formation, so we won't see that push ability from them unless they are. If you want to push through your enemy, you've got to get your troops to the shield wall formation and then select an area you want them to go, say behind the enemy lines here. And then they'll start moving in, they'll start pushing their way through. Umbar's choosing to use, oh no, that's not Umbar, that's Tsunami. He's got some Orc Javelin fire here coming in, which is good fire. But then, why send up the shield arrows at the same time, you know? If you're going to shoot your enemy with javelin missiles, then you don't want your allies pushing through the enemy ranks. You could hit them. Got a lot of pressure here. I think maybe Joran should get his Blackhawk engineers over here. Just keep them on standby, you know? Got after the Pikes moving up. But we got arrow fire coming in. Who's it from though? High-paying archers, or her-paying archers, jeez. It's pretty darn accurate. We're a little bit slow to get into the battle. It is 22 here to 28. Now, got the Warlord troops pressing forwards. The defenders, though, don't seem to be giving an inch, they're standing their ground. Right now, I think we're at a stalemate stage here. I think both sides are looking for that edge that allows them to push through. Now, we've got, what, 35 shield bearers left? I don't know, maybe they can push through. But Steg here is not putting them into shield wall formation, so I don't see them doing that. We've got Heavy Spears here, nicely bunched up. An easy target for any archer unit. So we've got 3 Legion here on standby, but not going inside the city. Thunderbird Guard also standing by. And we've got no missile units standing by, so the attack's approach here seems to have become very stalled or confused. We got up here Syrian Emoth Rangers. What are they doing up here? Who are they trying to hit? They're firing straight into the dirt. The Swordmasters have got to get into the Khazad-Dum Reclaimers ranks. They're definitely racking it up today. We've got Witches of Angmar. Maybe they're trying to hit them. We know 2 are now dead. Let's double check. Okay, so there are 5 remaining. The other 3 are commanding officers. So yeah, they're down 2. Not ideal there for Angmar, but it is what it is. Okay, Orc Javelins continue to fire in. We've got Joran here backing up Valcarion. So we've got the Elves here firing in still. Do they have any woodland protectors standing by? They do. So maybe Joran and Valcarion needs to pull back that right flank a little bit, open up that gap, allow the attackers inside, and then just hammer them with the woodland protectors. Because the ideal units to hammer them are on the Sauron's Will, and a duty and shield guard to some degree. They might get some kills on the Corsair crossbows, which isn't the best thing, but there's not too many of them there, so it shouldn't really matter too much. The Javelin should find their mark on the right units. But, so, there's some no arrow sentinels moving up, or is that just the Doom shield guard? Okay, no, it's just shield guard. Okay. What do we got out here? I think that's a Cinder of the Girdle around here somewhere. Yeah, down to 14. They haven't really lost anything in a little while. We've got Woodland Protectors now moving up. And they can do to Khazad-Dum what Khazad-Dum's been doing to Mirkwood, or Lothlorien. Okay. I took a stab there. So it was either or. They look the same. Well, Woodland Protectors are here, they're standing by, but they're not doing anything. Ironwatch and Mirror, are they in range? Potentially the Ironwatch are. If the Warlord can hit them, he should go after them immediately. Let's see. No, he's going after the Warriors Khazad-Dum. I would have gone after the Ironwatch myself. The Ironwatch and Mirror is starting to fire, which isn't good because, as you can see here, the Warlord is not spread out. It will allow the Ironwatch to concentrate their fire on a small area. Witches have moved up also. Alrighty. The Protectors just got absolutely hammered. Worse still, Warriors Khazad-Dum now got inside their ranks, stopping them from firing. Witches can fire on the Warriors. They probably shouldn't, since they got the Ironwatch firing in now. Alright, here we go. They're going to fire. That was not ideal there for the attackers. Took out a lot of their own troops. Morris probably needs to be a little bit more conservative with his ammunition. Warriors here broken. And we've got the witches just outside here, so if Warlord hurried quickly, we could rush forward and engage the witches, potentially taking out one or two of them. These forces in front of them right now, they're broken, they're fighting to the death. Go try and spot the... Jeez, I want the right word. Spot the opportunities when they're presented. They're going after the witches, all the javelins are being wasted. Don't think the Warlord's watching. Maybe they're on auto fire. So this would be pretty ideal to have the Tsunami Rangers here. They can take out a lot of these troops pretty quickly. All the javelins broken, but running to the battle, not away. I like it. Looks like, is that Warlord? It's Valcarion. Looks like Valcarion's just trying to soften up the pipeline a little bit. Trolls of Angmar. What are they up to? No, still 7. The attackers haven't moved forward at all over here. They're just focusing on the either side for now. Warlord trying to get his troops closer to the fight, out of the range of the witches. They gotta run their troops up a bit. And careful, Morris is fishing for an angle, he's gonna find it. Warlord needs some archers or javelins here. They've got Woodland Protectors right here. There they go. Yeah, that'll scare Morris away. There he goes. but he's only lost one Witcher since we last saw. Which is weird because we said 8 before. What's that now? 6. Okay, no, that's alright, that's right. But, you know, because we've got the Warlord pushing out here now, the gap's opened up where the Witches can fire straight in and they're protected. The Wooden Protectors can't hit them where they can fire. So Morris should see this and immediately take out this entire line, because he can. I mean, that's ideal for the Witches. These are good troops he can take down and get the attackers inside the choke point. And right now we've got CzechNoris pushing forward here, closing that gap that the Witches have right now. So this is no opportunity I think the attackers are going to miss. Which is a big gain for the defenders for sure. 36 to 45. See, Morris is already watching what Czech is doing here. Okay, now they're moving up. They're moving a bit too far forwards, I think. They don't need to go this far forwards. They should have stood left of the reclaim. It's not right. They'll still get up, if they can fire in, they'll still get up all the kills, I bet. But I think they'll get more if they fire from the left on the positive reclaims. And the Wooden Protectors wouldn't be able to hit them right. I don't know what you mean, trying to save or salvage the day here. Finally, the Wooden Protectors are firing on the line. Watching Mirkwood. To 46. Defenders making some gains. Okay, TC. Yeah, no movement from Czech or TC over here. Czech's attention is probably concentrated to the battle to the right. But we do have TC sort of probing the bear or poking the dragon a little bit here with the snugger skirmishes. You know, they're getting the kills. Not the best target to go after with these snugger skirmishes. Axe got an airborne and Obsidian Guard would be ideal for the snugger skirmishes, but getting them in range is pretty much an impossible task at this stage. But if Joran moves them up, that would make life easier though for TC. Like, look, if TC wanted to attack the Obsidian Guard right now, you probably should send 2 forces in. One to attack the on-foot warriors to hold them at bay, and send in another force here to buffer against any troops coming at them from either this direction or this direction, buying time for the snugger skirmishes to get a few volleys off into the Obsidian Guard. So over here, the attack is definitely stepping up. Valcarion's got to get his troops either out of the range, behind the walls here, or into the fight. You got to credit the attackers for just hammering the mistakes the defenders make like this, and making them pay dearly. Defenders are continuing to make gains. 46 here, 50. We've got fire coming from Beast of Gorgoroth. The Orc Javelins will probably switch their fire to maybe the highly intimidated swords there. I think they're at risk of hitting their own Ollard high. We've got Ringwood Watchers up there. I'm not too sure what they're doing up there. We've got Rangers over, I understand, but not Watchers. Khazad-Dum's in the fight, looking to boost the morale of the attack, keep those guys in the fight for a bit longer. We've got Uruk Captains now, I think, in the fight as well. Probably ideal for Nazgul to be here as well. Mainly because it will be pretty well blended in there with the attack. It would help them progress further into the city faster. These guys here, they're almost through. And maybe they should just go for a big push, get inside the city, cause chaos in the inner city. And then the other attackers should press as well. And then it'll be better than I think for the defenders. They'll be torn between when to send out reinforcements, but then they need their own troops where they are to hold back against the incoming assault. Okay, we've got Beast of Gorgoroth inside the city. All the attackers, all the defenders need to do here is to fire some fire ammunition, and we're pretty much done. We've got AP ammunition coming in. They're running amok. Elders of the Elven King, I think, finished him off. We've got Axe Cutter Erebor moving up. The defense is looking pretty solid on the left. I was going to be a little concerned about the right, but with the Elven King's Palace Guard there, they should be able to do alright. Should be able to hold, at least for now. We've got Mirkwood the Chosen moving up. I think we've got the Elders of the Elven King here trying to destroy the Troll Drummers, trying to remove their morale buff, cause a chain rout. We've got a catapult here that's not firing in. You think they would want to fire? I'd probably fire with the catapult right now, and I'd aim for the Mirkwood the Chosen to try and reduce the risk of friendly fire. You know, as I say, you always want to try and, if you're targeting to a blob of friendly and enemy troops, I think maybe you want to try and aim for the enemy troop that's furthest away from the blob, thus ensuring that if a bolt drops too soon, it might hit the front rank of your enemy and not your own troops. I think it's more likely that would happen. Always try and negate the risk of friendly fire when using your artillery. Catapult of the attack up here is pretty much non-existent. I mean, we've got some Black Box Legion here, but I don't know. Hopefully, he's not sending it inside. They won't do them any good. They won't do the attackers any good if they attack here now with what they got. I think one of the remaining options, and I think Morris sees this, is to join one of the other assaults to strengthen those attacks, to stream in with the strength, so that they won't collapse as soon as they get inside. And so we've got some Lothlorien to company out here. Pull out the man of the company, Warlord. First pikes are almost here. And he was too slow to pull out there. You see that it's melting away. But you got 19 of them. I think 18. Okay. 18 are out. You can avoid the pikes easy enough. There's also room to maneuver. And they could potentially go after the Iron Watch in Mirkwood. I'm just seeing the company out here. I'm not seeing the riders of the Golden Wood. I'm surprised Lothlorien and Warlord didn't march out again. If he got his mounted company out there, I'm surprised he didn't get the riders out there. I'm not sure where the riders are. Oh, there they are. Full strength unit. But probably shouldn't charge in for the spear unit. As you can see, they're highly accurate. These guys here should have been on standby to take out the Iron Watch and Mirkwood as soon as Czech moved them up. He could have shut them down and protected these forces from earlier. 59 to 61, the gap continues to close. How's it going over here? Temple Execution is down to 6. The Nazgul aren't already in the fight, they bloody well should be, I think. Because now the attackers are losing. The Nazgul would definitely give them a buff. The Belaga Footmen won't do too much. They just add some mass to the attack, but that's really about it. We've got wooden detectors here being taken out. The Warlord looks like he's already preparing for a last stand, which is odd because the defenders are doing alright here. They shouldn't be withdrawing reinforcements. They're keeping them so far back. There we are, yeah. Alright, it looks like they might have done a Trojan maneuver. They made the defenders so comfortable they've abandoned the entire defense. Why would they do that? This is catastrophic. Maybe not to the defense over here, but over here, I mean, we got Valcarion and Joran having a few troops over here. Now the pressure's really on these guys to fight their way out of this. I mean, the attackers should capitalise on this immediately. I mean, they should send over everything they got to destroy these troops to try and save as many of their attacking allies as they can. Because the defenders are giving them such a wide berth to work with here. They can immediately salvage this battle, save a lot of their own troops, definitely making it easier for their fight up the hill later on. So I think the attackers over here are moving way too slow. They're not moving towards the battle to the left. They should be racing over there right now, running with everything they got. Great buildings will definitely help. But yeah, this is a bit surprising. We've got snow trolls here as well. I am a little bit shocked that I'm not seeing much more of an effort to scramble to get over here to attack the defenders from the rear, thus securing this battle over here for the attackers. And Joran's already preparing for him. He's got his on-foot spears here. He's marching to the rear of the line to repel the Great Buildings if they choose to come in. Mind you, the way around that, Great Buildings can simply run around here. I think TC is doing exactly that. He's going to try and run around the spears and slam into the backs of the Elven King's Palace Guard. Or the other side. The Warlord's on my mum. Yeah, okay. Oh, I don't know. TC is flip-flopping. Don't know if he's made a decision yet. Maybe he has, I don't know. He's going to charge right at the Ironfoot Spears. Why not the Warlord's on my mum? Surely that'd be easier. Maybe he's afraid about being caught up in the Beasts of Warlord. That is a risk. That can be a concern. Now, what Joran should be doing is chasing after the Great Buildings. That's a mistake. You don't chase after cav with infantry on foot. They'll just run around you. They'll make the mistake of charging into you. Alright, that's a bit surprising. The attackers could may live to regret that, or die to regret that. I don't know. We'll see. Now, hopefully Czech still has some ammo with the Iron Watch and mirror him in. If he does, they'll make this assault up the hill far more easier, and they could take out the artillery too of the Warlord with the Iron Watch. We've seen the Iron Watch be a great unit, a great anti-artillery piece. Can easily destroy an entire artillery crew. He's trying to get some pot shots on some pikemen. Yeah, I'll target the Witron pikemen, I suppose. They're the most advanced unit over here. That's a big threat to the defense later on. Hammer Guard is really good in close quarters, but the pikemen with their armor upgrades, maybe even attack upgrades, Probably best to weaken them. Now see, all the attacking forces here have been killed. And they didn't need to be. I think the battle here was in the attacker's favour, and they just didn't press their advantage when it was available to them. And you might say, Scouts, what about the catapult? Couldn't it fly directly into the attackers? And you're right, it could. But given that they're so close to the defenders, I don't know if the defenders would risk it. They might not. After all, we've got the Elven King's Palace Guard here, and not a unit you want to risk killing, because this is the kind of battle, this is the kind of environment they will excel at, close quarter combat. And the Elven King's Palace Guard can get a lot of kills in situations like this. That's probably something else for you guys to watch out for when you're in a fight later on. You know, is there an artillery piece nearby? Is the reason my opponent's not firing into me because there's too many of his own troops here? And at what point will he decide that, okay, I can now accept the loss here, I'm going to fire on these guys and try to hit as many of the attacking troops around my guys as I can. And if I hit my friendly troops, so be it. Because the benefit, or the possibility of getting some excellent hits here on my opponent is just too good to pass up. So you want to watch that number when you wear down your opponent. You know? When should you pull out your attack? Looks like he's trying to fire here. Look at some of the front pikes. I like it from the catapult here would be awesome. You can get hits from the Blackwatch Legion, Luchon Piker and Hammer Guard. The dream team of units the catapult will want to hit. But, you know, firing a catapult, not an exact science. And it's good that Morris has some ammunition here left. Jeez, lucky. Let's see how Morris goes. These goblins taking their time. Unlucky there. This would be the target I want to hit. Oh, I would hope my catapult could hit. So juicy, right in the heart of this blob here. You're looking at least 20-30 kills. See? That's an awesome hit right there. That's what the attackers want to see. Warlords should not be bunching up the units like this. There's no need. Not yet. There's some Lothlorien archers trying to set the catapults on fire. Don't know if that's necessary. Maybe you should just fire on them with regular ammunition. Try and take out the crews, because there's only 8 of them left after all. How much you moving? Yeah, TC trying to keep most of his army away from the eyes of that catapult. Meanwhile, we've got TC setting up his trolls here, bit of a risk. But actually, CzechNoris is here with some Mirkwood guard and is that Legion bodyguard? Okay, no, this is actually a good idea from TC. You know? The trolls here are well supported with some elite troops here from Khazad-Dum. This will definitely enable the attackers to move up the hill much faster and take these guys down quicker. The Warlord probably needs to pull back his Lothlorien archers immediately. There's a lot of muscle here for the attack. Trolls, Mithril Guard, and Legion Bodyguard. That's one of the deadliest combinations I think we'll ever see in Reforged. There were no javelins and arrows coming in. And a catapult protecting the attackers here. The defenders catapult protecting the defense. That's probably the worst situation for the defenders to be in right now. 72 though, 72. It's now dead even. Warlord here. Probably should try to save his catapult if he can. Blacklock's Legion, they're being shot at. We got Rifle crossbows here. And we also have Kindred of Caliburn. I don't think I've seen them fire at all. I don't know if I've seen the Blacklock Engineers fire at all either. There's Elven King's Palace Guard. So Elders of the Elven King, they haven't fired yet. We got there's a Blackwatch, not Blackwatch, Blacklock Engineers. They still have their crossbow fire. Don't count the defenders out of this, they are still well and truly in it. We've got a lot of firepower left in the tank themselves. Kindred of Caliburn though shouldn't really be here. There's no reason for them to be. They can be kept here next to the Elders of the Elven King. Maybe use their ammunition after the Elders. Or use their ammunition before the Elders. But what the Warlord needs to do here is get rid of this catapult, get this catapult out of there. You can't really afford to have that, lose that catapult there, because that will intercept his own ammunition when he fires it down. He risks, the Warlord risks inhibiting him, his and his own allies' archer units. And this will actually be really good, I think, for the attackers if Warlord boosts the catapult crew here. Oh, these catapults here, we've already seen them intercept some ammunition before. If the attackers can move up and keep this attack around this area, they can push the defenders back a bit. This fight will begin to favour them. And there won't be too much the defenders can do about it. They'll try and fire in, but all of that fire will get caught here. Right directing on this. Getting hammered a little bit there. Not the worst in the world. Narrow now influence, definitely handy. Cashmere's Rangers with ammunition. Potentially. Yeah, okay. This is where the defenders need to pull back. I think if Steck can fire in right now, he's definitely going to help out his team. Let's see where they hit. Rainfall. That's a little bit too high up, I reckon. I don't know. I would have thought they would have gone after this target here, you know? Take out the axe guy, airball spinner, allow the attackers to move up just where the catapult is. Stop the catapult from firing down upon their forces. The attackers just need to get to that catapult. And the only reason I think it's a mistake for Steak to fire on the catapult crew with his Cashmere's Rangers is that, look at the way they're manoeuvring themselves. The more they take out, the closer the catapult group moves closer to their catapults. And this catapult in particular is intercepting, I think, a lot of their ammunition. The attackers have got to take out these troops. They're allowing too much time for the rifle crossbows to fire in. And as strong as the armour is for Legion Bodyguard and Mirkwood Guard, eventually they will succumb to it. And these are some of the strongest units the attackers have left. They can't really afford to lose them. We got a bunch of troops here that seems to be sniped out. That is impressive. The Kindred of Caliburn did all that.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
It's been unfortunate. It looks like a lot of the Blacklock's Legion. Down to 50. Who's firing at them, I wonder? No guard. Nice. I think Warlord is trying to pull out. I'm not trying to pull out. I don't know. I was leaning towards pulling out before, but then it just turned around. I think they're too close. Maybe? Cavalry is broken, fine to the death. Big win, I think, for the attackers there. The defenders need to pull back. They need to give their archers a wide berth to shoot at the enemy. They should pull back these troops immediately, wait for the attackers to come through, and then just hammer them as soon as they clear the catapult, either side. They got the ammunition to do it. The defenders just need to be patient, let the attackers come to them. What's they planning to do here at the Casim's Ranges? Looks like Indra Celeborn firing right to the side here. Morris seems oblivious to the danger he's in. And he's making a mistake. He thinks running his troops closer to the river will save them. We just saw the Indra Celeborn get hits here on the Hammer Guard before. This area is dangerous. It won't save them. There's no protection. Unfortunately for Morris, it seems they've stopped firing. They might have run out of ammunition, which would be very nice, I think, for the attackers there. Yeah. Well, the crossbows up there. They're firing in again. Guess Kindred still has ammunition. So Morris is getting absolutely creamed again. Down at 31. So Temple Guard moving up. The attackers are almost through here, but then, the defenders should make this gauntlet as long and grueling as possible. It's a long distance the attackers have to cover, and right now they're just starting to be exposed here. This would be a good time for the Blackhawk Engineers to, I think, pounce. I think they can safely fire down now and take out pretty much the entire right flank of that attacking force. We've got more troops moving in, so you might be waiting for them to move in. But I think if he goes after the 4th Legion Shield Guard, then all these units in front of them are also fair game. I think the Black Hawk Engineers should target the 4th Legion Shield Guard here. They'll maximise their impact. They'll significantly damage and kill a lot of these troops. Blackbirds not firing. Black Hawk Engineers, I don't know what they're waiting for. Right now, the attackers are blobbed up here as they move themselves around the catapult. Now is the time to strike. If they wait, then this is just going to benefit CzechNoris. So I think CzechNoris is a little bit lucky there to get away with that. Now I think Black Hawks have missed their chance. They'll still have an impact in this fight, I think, for sure, but it won't be as big. Who fired into this now? No, it was from Woodland Detectives there. The Caspian Rangers are trying to fire in. Getting some hits there on the alpha crossbows, wounded protectors. Every little bit helps. Blacklock's still not firing. Might actually times 2 speed it, I think. Just until we see something different happen. Keeping an eye on the Blacklocks. The Chaos Carlin Guardians, I don't think I saw them before until now. They're a solid defense there.
The enemy general lies dead.
Okay. They're the ideal unit to have in any checkpoint. Cassie's Rangers here getting some good fire on the Kindred of Khazad-Dum for sure. No Sentinels getting into the battle, but most of their numbers are still with them. Greenwood Watchers might have a shot. Looks like they're getting some good hits. Looks like they're going after the Temple Guard. Snagger's finish is 69. The old guard joining the fray. Cassie's Rangers out of ammo. Richard Hamlet Guard getting into the fight for the first time with 18 surviving men. Bit unlucky there for Norris. Don't know if the witches are still alive at this stage. I haven't seen them for a little while. It is 83 now to 80 in favour of the attackers. $79 Trump pikemen left alive. TC. A few troops here, don't know why he's not sending them to the fight. I don't know if Czech's forces here are stuck or he's deliberately hiding behind the catapults. I think those Khazad-Dum forces are needed here to help the attackers push up the hill. It's possible he's afraid to. He's thinking maybe as soon as he pokes his head out from under those catapults or around those catapults, the Blacklocks can use fire. We're moving up as we speak. Getting some alright fire there from TC, so another fresh unit of Snagger skirmishes up. Warlord Shield Guard here fighting to the death. Joran and Warlord here getting the forces a little bit confused. I mean, you think the Blacklock engineers could take out this entire Umabr body of them instead. He's definitely got the angle. He just answered the Trump pikeman here, and the entire back area of this force is, goes down to the dirt. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
They have lost half their men.
Okay, so a lot of them don't have the best angle, but they are getting hits.
Men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
The Blacklocks have stopped firing. It's the second enemy general 2-4. Also got the remnants of the snow trolls here. Down to 3. 84 to 83. Snow trolls will be killed by the Blacklocks eventually. Sons of Durin moving in. They're trying to bring down the Skirmishers. I think it's going for one last big push, I think. They've got to try and commit everything. 85 to 84. They just still have ammo. Okay, Steg General is gone. I don't know why TC is keeping most of his army back. You got Iron watching near me, I don't know if they have that though. It's just they're fighting. This is proving to be a really big grind now. Nasty surprises, watches have got a wood. Still have plenty of that one. Wall skirmishes, wider fearmongers, straight breathers. Oh, okay. Yeah, Czech called it. As soon as he moved his troops from behind those catapults there, Black Fox engaged. But fortunately for Czech, they're lobbing their bolts upwards. So Black Fox won't have the greatest impact on this fight. The Watcher's targeting the White Goblin King's. They're targeting the Goblin King's bodyguard here, or the White Orc Fearmongers, either or. Looking at the fire, I think they're targeting the Goblin King's bodyguard. Camper working against the defenders though. 87 though to 89. Mount Lord Berserkers here being fired upon by the Elders of the Elven King. Warlord's forces moving down. And a bit of a showdown here. Azog is so gone. He's being pushed back considerable. Elders and Watchers raining hell on the attackers from Angmar. Blackbat Mountain Berserkers in the fight. 89 to 91.
They have lost half their men.
Highborn and Airborne now being engaged. Great Brewlings are fighting their way through the forces and bursting out the other side. The attackers getting amongst their ranks, pushing through with them. And the last ditch attempt to throw the defenders on the back foot.
Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
The Great Brewlings though hit a deadlock. They hit a brick wall.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
93 to 93. Sorry, 94 to 93 to 94. White Orc Fearmongers broke originally, came back and then got broken again by the Elders. Sorry, Watchers of the Golden Wood, sorry. And with the last of the attackers here being routed, and that's it. So the opportunity was there for both sides to claim victory. Fortunately for the defenders, it was their day today. But the opportunity was there for both sides to be the last standing there at the end. Fortunately for the defenders, they just took more opportunities that were presented to them. And that's it. So congratulations to the Warlord and his team on their victory here. Warlord getting 1466, Joran 2395, and Valcarion 2105. Stegri 4 here, 654, Tsunami 1094, TC 1351, 633, Morris 538, and CzechNoris 1079. Kill counts here, Kindred of Caliber 180, Ronin Archers 189 to 56, Ronin Protectors 71 to 136, and Ronin Swordmasters 41 to 110, and Syrian Airbuff Rangers 121. The Rangers could have got a lot more kills, I reckon. But that's just me being critical. If you enjoyed this replay, guys, want to see your own featured here on this channel, you can post them to my email at scoutswithattainment@gmail.com. You can post them to me directly on the Discord, or post them to the Battle Replay sub-channel on my Discord server, Scouts Reconnaissance. Links to all those methods of contacting me you'll find in the video's description. Thank you to the Warlord once again for sending me the replay. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe of course if you haven't already, and tick that bell for notifications so you're aware of all battles as they drop. This is Scouts of Entertainment signing off. Fall out, my fellow Scouts. See you in the next Third Age Reforged battle.